Hi, I'm Tim Carter, AskTheBuilder.com, and we're going to talk a little bit about radiant floor heating. I hope you can see that behind me. And pretty interesting installation that happened this morning. Want to remind you, this is not my house. I'm not doing this house. I'm not building this house. I'm just an observer. And if you discover something new, and I think you will, this video, I'll bet you there's something you don't know about radiant floor heating. I'd appreciate it if you would click that thanks text link under the video and understand that any and all revenue that I'm lucky enough to be able to raise, I plow back into the channel to be able to make more videos for you faster. Let's get started. Let's take a look at what's going on. What you're looking at is 1/2-inch PEX tubing, and the plumbers were here and putting in a bunch of loops and really did a pretty good job. Looks really good. And I just wanted to give you an overview from up above, and then we're going to go down and talk about it. But we've got several loops here. There's 2 loops over in that far garage, and here I'd have to count them up. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 4 loops here. All right, 4 different loops. All right, let's go down and talk about it. Okie dokie, you are looking at the PEX install here, and really kind of a fine job. They did a really pretty good job, these guys did. And you can see that the spacing is about 1 foot apart. Nice good loops here. They've got plenty of the little anchors to hold the piping in place. And over here, where the pipings are going to come up into this is going to be a mechanical room. The boiler is going to be right in here. You can see the different pipes coming up into here. They've got them stapled temporarily to some 2x so that they stand up while they pour the concrete floor. And what you have to understand is the only mistake I think they made is they did not put any caps or tape on the ends of these pipes. So vandals or people could come in here and put sand in these. That's a big mistake. They should have capped these off. But anyway, you need 2 pipes. So you have to understand the way this works. I'll try to look here at this one. Here we go. Yeah, we'll look at the garage for you. So the way the garage works is these 2 pipes here. All right. So this pipe here and this pipe here, here they are. They go down here, these 2 right here, and then they transition here. Here are the 2 pipes, and they're going out, and then they go all the way down into the garage, and they start to make a loop. All right, they start to make a loop, and eventually, so what's going to happen is this pipe here might be where the hot water flows out of the boiler and then down into the loop, and eventually it'll come back up here through this pipe to get reheated. All right, so that's how a radiant floor heating system works. You've got these loops of pipe, and the ideal measurement is, so you know this is something I'll bet you didn't know. The total distance from, if we were to take a tape measure and measure from here and go all the way around and come back to here, the ideal measurement would be about 225, 230 feet. That's a really good length for a loop. And that's a really good length. Much shorter than that, you're not doing a good job, and much longer than that, what happens is that if you try to make too big of a loop, and the loop's 400, 500 feet long, what happens is by the time the water gets towards the end of the loop, it's lost all of its heat, and you don't want that. So then you end up with a cold spot in the floor. All right, but let's go out here and look. So in this garage, so you know, there are 2 different loops, and here's where the one loop ends. Remember that first loop, it was coming around up here, and so here is the one loop. So the one loop starts right here where my foot is, and it starts. Yes. I want to make sure. So the one loop are all of these. So this, and this are part of the first loop. They're farther away. And then this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, they are the second loop, all right? And if they did their math right, each of those should be about 220, 230, 240 feet. All right, but here's a mistake they made. This is about the only mistake I can see. You can see that these pipes here are really close to the edge of the slab. Big mistake. You want those pipes to be about 30 inches back from the edge of the slab because they're going to lose too much heat out to the outside. Big, big mistake. This is, in my opinion, I feel, another mistake. All right? You can see that these 4 PEX pipes cross over this footer, and there's no insulation underneath them. And hopefully somebody's going to come back and put a piece of 3/4 inch thick foam insulation on top of that footer underneath these pipes. If not, it's 2 problems. Number 1, there's a lot of heat that'll get lost through there. Number 2, I see this as a huge major issue down the road where these pipes will be covered with concrete. They'll be pressed down against the footer by the weight of the concrete. And these sharp edges here of the footer, you have to understand that these PEX pipes, they expand and contract as they heat up and they get cold. So after, I don't know, several hundred, several thousand expansion contraction episodes, they'll abrade against this concrete and maybe develop a leak. So this smooth foam insulation helps lubricate that expansion contraction. So this needs to have a piece of insulation underneath it. Doesn't have to be that thick. 1/2 inch, 3/4 be fine. But I don't see it right now, and let's hope they put it in. Here's something else that's pretty interesting. My guess is you don't know what this is, all right? You may. I mean, if you're a contractor, if you're a heating contractor, you know. But look at this very interesting PEX pipe. It's very short. It's got a 90 that come up through the slab. And then the pipe just terminates up here, all right? What do you think this is for? And there's 2 of them. There's one here, and there's one over there. Do you have any ideas? Well, I'll tell you, all right? What it is, they're going to put a temperature sensor in here. After, as the house is being built, they will drop a wire. There's a little sensor that'll go down here. There's no doubt in my mind that this will be in a stud wall. And there'll be a wire that has a sensor on the end of it that goes into the concrete. I would have put it up a little higher. I would have put if it was me, I would have placed like another piece of insulation to get this pipe up so that it's more centered in the slab. So here it's going to be at the bottom of the slab. And it's also really, really close to this particular pipe in the loop. I would have put this right in the center of these 2. But that's just me. You know, over here, for example, I think they did this one right, but it's just not high enough. They got this one in between the two loops. All right, so that's going to be for a temperature sensor that really helps regulate the temperature of the slab as once the boiler's working. So it's going to be really, really interesting. So this is the radiant floor heating pipes, PEX piping. Good stuff. I've got it in my own home. Well, did you learn anything new? I hope so. Radiant floor heating. It is delightful. I cannot say enough good things about it. I have it in my own home. I put it in my daughter's home. You can put it, not only can you put it under concrete, in a concrete slab, you can also put it under a wood floor. And we did that at my daughter's home. It's underneath a wood floor. You just put these aluminum heat transfer plates that you screw to the underside of the floor, the subfloor, and then there are these channels that the PEX piping snaps into. So the hot water goes through the PEX pipe. It transfers that heat immediately to the aluminum, and aluminum is a really good conductor of heat, which it then transfers the heat right up into the wood subfloor. If you do that, make sure when you insulate the floor that the insulation you put tight up against the subfloor. You do not want any type of an air gap between the PEX piping and the subfloor. You want to force that heat up, and that's exactly what the insulation will do. So no airspace. And you notice that's what happens here. In other words, the concrete, which is going to be heated, is in direct contact with the insulation. There's no air gap. That's very, very important. As I said, I feel the installers here only made 2 mistakes. They've got those pipes a little too close to the edge of the slab over in the garage. That's going to be a big, big mistake. Going to be a big heat loss there. They should have had a 30-inch spacing there. There should have been 30 inches of concrete before the first run of that PEX pipe. And then remember, there was that mistake, in my opinion, where those 4 pipes crossed over that internal footing. They better put a piece of insulation there, or down the road, I'm telling you right now, those pipes are going to develop a leak. What a shame. All right, let's hope they don't make that mistake. If you have any questions about radiant floor heating, I do consults, I do phone consults. Happy to help you over the phone. Happy to give you a bunch of really good design tips to make sure you don't make a mistake. You only get one chance to get it right. And remember, if you discovered something new in the video, I'd sure appreciate it if you would click that thanks text link underneath the video. Give me a tip or so, and I reinvest that revenue into the channel to hopefully make more videos for you faster. And if you've got any questions, come to my website. I've got a lot of really great columns on radiant floor heating. Just go to askthebuilder.com, read away, make sure you sign up for my free newsletter. You're going to love the newsletter. Pretty quirky one. Each week I usually open up the newsletter, don't talk anything about home improvement. All right, I'm Tim Carter, askthebuilder.com. If you want to discover more home improvement tips, go to askthebuilder.com.